megaphone is that. The megaphone's the flashy kind of setup, so that when the audience sees it, they then come back to see the other stuff. And then all the rest of the shows that we have that are basically improv are different styles on that, but not the flashy, like, tap out, run around, full, call back, do all this stuff. Like, it's not quite as contained as all that. It's really more free-flowing, and it's harder to grasp onto, and that's why a lot of people are like, what? Yeah. But when you're free to not worry too much about, your the way that the patterns follow and the order of it, or if you just like live, do slice of life scenes versus like 3-beat pattern scenes, or like follow the pattern in a way that, like, I don't know, feels more organic. I don't know. I had a scene the other day with Brett, and Brett's in the troupe that I'm doing, and it was just like all of a sudden, like, the first 2 words that we said to each other, we both immediately knew what we were doing. We knew what the game of the scene was, not what the joke was. And then we just relaxed. Like, we didn't immediately, like, hit all the beats immediately. Like, it was like, okay, we get it. But we didn't just go like, boom, boom, boom. It was like, okay, here's the first one. I'm going to hang out. I'm going to do this. I'm this person. Check out this world I'm building, And then we'd go in and back, and it was so great. I've taught people and watched people do those kinds of scenes, but I don't know that I've ever felt that I confidently accomplished one. So I was like, whew, all right. And this is years after. I mean, I graduated, Michael and I were in the same graduating class. And we're number 3. And y'all will be 27 or 28. So it's like, it takes years of working on stuff and thinking about things and working on comedy to, like, find your own thing. I mean, what I was doing, the comedy that I was trying to do when I was 25 to 30 was weird. Not at all what I'm doing now.
I don't know. Like, getting lost in the Alps still sounds kind of awesome. I bet, like...
When did you go to Germany?
High school.
Like, for a high school trip?
I was in an exchange program, so I was there for like 2 months in the summer of my junior year.
Who they exchanged for you?
Junior and what do you mean?
You went as an exchange program?
No, well, there was an exchange program in the high school. Yeah, I had a partner that stayed with me and my family for 2 months, and then in the summer I went and stayed with her family.
Oh, a lady, eh?
Yeah.
Your love of a German lady?
Oh, you know it. It's so weird, like, how just beautiful and, like, Aryan and, like, just, I don't know, just blonde hair, blue-eyed, sturdy, just, yeah.
You loved her, huh?
Big time. She had a really hot-ass boyfriend the whole time I was there, and...
Wow, that was quite a reaction.
Well, he was just, like, a fucking model, this guy, and, like, he played violin.
You were attracted to him.
And I had braces, and this was me at my worst as far as, like, my aesthetic goes. Like, I was the goofiest. What the fuck? This was me at my, like, worst looking. Like, yeah, I had acne, braces, long hair, poor fashion taste. And yeah, now, like, live with her. She got me into a bunch of shit. She could party way harder than I could. And then, like, her and her boyfriend broke up, like, a week before I left, and we ended up, like, making out the morning I had to go. Like, okay, they had this thing called the Kirva in Germany, and it's like the church's birthday, basically, like whatever church you go to, and it's an all week long drinking event, and and yeah, and when I say all week, I mean, like, they don't leave for a week. Like, these people just stay and drink and party, and the first night is, like, the most crucial. So I left, like, the morning after the first night of Kirva, so we stayed up all night, like, drinking and partying and dancing around this fucking tree. And then her dad had to come get me, and we're both hammered. And yeah, she just lays it all out on me that, like, she was, like, super into me and all this stuff, and, like, then just made out with me really hard for a second, and then just sent me off. And I was just... and, like, what do I do? Like,
that sounds great.
Like, I'm in the car with her dad, just, like, I can't even, like, go tell him what I'm going through, you know? Like,
yeah.
Tell you what, man, I really this could have been way more fun for me and your daughter. I tell you what.
You could speak to your daughter and tell her next time, tell the guy ahead of time, she'll be able to get some.
Yeah.
If she wasn't so busy with Hans.
Well, what was his name? His name was something. It was something very similar to that. It was like no, it was
like Dietrich.
I think it was Ati.
Ati.
Yeah, I think it was like short for like Atticus, but like they called him Ati. And yeah, no, that sucks. I hate it because she's doing well. The thing is, like, she is so super successful now that like.
You still keep in touch with her?
Facebook, we talk and stuff.
Oh wow. Okay, when you were in Germany, was Facebook a thing?
It was still for college kids.
But it existed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that. Okay. Oh, interesting. Wow. Okay.
I think like 2 years after that happened, when I actually was in college, that's when it became for everybody.
I only did Facebook when I moved here, and it was like because I was not in college. I was older than college when it was a college thing. Because I remember Georgia joined it when she was in college, and I was like, well, I'm an adult. What am I going to do? Go on some stupid social media site? Spoiler alert, was on there for 5 hours today.
Yeah, actually, I take that back. That was right when they had opened it up to everybody, because like the first pictures in my Facebook, like just on my Facebook page, and like if you go all the way back to the beginning of my photos, are pictures of her and me in Germany.
Mental no.
And no, she, it's one of those things. We went to Vienna, the Czech Republic, spent most of our time in Bavaria, and then I took a trip. Like, her family hated me at first and grew to love me over time in like really, really cool individual ways. Because I couldn't drink liquor, and this girl partied like crazy, and she made me stand at her party and made me drink and brought me home, and I threw up all over her parents' bathroom. And they thought I was a monster, and it was just me trying to hang out, just trying to like hang with this tiny 98-pound blonde German girl. And eventually though they loved me, and it was awesome. But I miss Germany a lot. Like, Germany is fucking awesome. Everybody speaks English. I didn't get to like practice German at all.
I was only in Germany for a short period of time. When I was in the Alps, I was in Switzerland.
Okay. What were you? Were you just like kind of backpacking, or are you just kind of doing like?
In college, I spent. We had a campus. I went to college in Dallas, and my college has a campus in Rome. And so all sophomores pick either the fall or the spring semester, and you go. Now, the school's bigger now, so now you get to go based on merit. But back in the day, everyone got to go. And so we all went. They'd take your whole class, and they'd split you into two halves. You'd vote. You'd, like, submit to be in the fall group or the spring group, and you hopefully would get what you wanted, and then you would go. And I went in the spring, and my friends, and so first you spend like 2 months, you have regular classes and stuff, there's a campus and everything, but they take you on trips. They take you on trips all over Italy, they take you on trips all over Greece, and it's all like history lessons and art history stuff, and no, in buses, because there's hundreds of us.
Okay.
So then that near the end, like once they feel like you're comfortable in Europe and like you can handle yourself around other people, because keep in mind we're 19, so we're done. And so then they give us, they start us off with 2 weekend trips. You get to go one, 2 days, then another 2 days, then you get a 5-day trip, and right near the end you get a 10-day. And for 10-day, we were like, let's do it. I want to see, oh no wait, this was 5-day. 5-day I went to Switzerland, and it was me and a couple of my friends, and we had looked up this town in Switzerland, and it was called Interlaken. And so we went to Interlaken, and when we get to Interlaken, it was a very, like, you could tell it was like the city at the base of the mountain. And we were like, and so we pulled out not the internet, we pulled out our Let's Go books and looked up a hostel that we could stay in up in the mountains. And it was legitimately called Mountain Hostel. We had dinner in Interlaken, then we took a train to a bus to a cable car, which dropped us off in this town, which was like the section in the Alps. There was like 3 buildings. 2 buildings were houses that belonged to people that lived there, and then the other building was the hostel. In the hostel was like a note. that was like, hey, this is the hostel. There's nothing here. There's just beds and kitchen stuff. So if you need food, you need to get your own food. We don't have food. Get whatever you want. Stay here. We'll be here in the morning. And it'll cost you this much per person. And it was like no one's there to check us in. Like, it's just a big empty space, and there's no one but us there. It's just the three of us, right? And legitimately, it is like a cabin, and when you walk out the front door of the cabin, you like look up, and it's like mountains all around you. Like, you're in the middle of the Alps, right? So great, so wonderful. And 3 German people, 2 girls and a guy, showed up about halfway through the middle of the night. We went and got groceries, and we got some wine, and we were about 1 bottle in, sitting out front, we're looking at the stars, being like, we're in fucking Switzerland. And these 3 show up on their little cable car, and are like, what's up? We hear the hostel's fun. And we're like, it's pretty much just us. And they're like, we brought wine. And so then we just had the best night, like, sitting there drinking. I have these crazy pictures of these people. I have no idea what they did with their lives. They're probably all married with children in Germany or whatever. But, like, so funny, the, like, bonding we had. And then we just went back to school. And we're like, what the fuck? I have all these crazy pictures of me in just mountains. Like, hi.
See, yeah, that was the thing. Like, when I was staying with my partner, is like, we didn't really. It sucks because we didn't really give them a whole lot of opportunity to drink in like big parties, and like I threw parties, but they would have to be like big things. I didn't really like throw small parties, so like I threw one party for all the German kids and all the exchange kids that went up in smoke real fast. It was awesome. But when I went there, we partied all the fucking time. Like, and like her and her friends, they go like buy like a truckload of this Pilsner called 1617, and they drive up into the woods to this big flat area and have these like camp out parties. And like by the end of it, they're like throwing couches into the fire. Like, there was a dude from Florida who had been there. He'd gone AWOL from the army like back in the 80s and had just been kind of like dicking around with these like weird hippie German kids. And like, I don't know, he passed out first. It was awesome. But yeah, like they would take us to these like insane places, and we'd party till sunup, and then we go to school. And like we went to their high school, or their gymnasium as they called it. Like, you can either go to a Hochschule, which is like a high school, or a gymnasium, which is like the high school for smart kids. You're sorted out in middle school. Like people that are gonna do well and are like gonna be smart, and people that are gonna be laborers, basically. Or like people that don't really like show a shine to like education or whatever. And I had to go to that, and I was
show
like,
a shine.
Show a shine. That's a German term.
Is it?
No.
I was like, sounds like Carolina.
I went to their English class though, and I thought I was gonna be like, all right, yeah, I'll be. This will be fun. This will be easy. Yeah, the first day the kid like turns around to me and he goes, hey, what is nihilism? And I was 17, so I was like, I don't fucking know, bro. Like, they were doing a whole thing about Kurt Cobain. Like, they were doing like rock icons, and they were like they were learning about Kurt Cobain and like the concept of nihilism. And yeah. I was like, I just stopped going to class. It was kind of up to us anyways. We could go to class, or we could just like roam the city, and we would just do that all the time.
Or we could just roam the city.
The city was a big circle with like it was a medieval city, so there were big like walls that kept you locked in, so you could just go, and it was just a big maze, and you could just run around. And
whoa, that's so weird. Can you imagine if like there was a wall around Austin, you couldn't leave it?
I imagine that wall would just have like people from California slamming against it, like World War Z zombies, like just piling up on top of each other, coming across the top.
Not trying to get in.
Yeah.
Trying to get out.
Yeah. I miss that shit. I miss the way the air smells. I miss all the bread.
All the bread.
All the bread and the meat and everything. Like, McDonald's are better there. Like, Germany wouldn't let McDonald's in unless they use German beef. So.
I'll be honest, I had, when I was in Switzerland, we ate at an Italian restaurant, and then when we finished and we, like, left, we were like, we're dumb. We're like, why did we do that? We just came from Italy.
Mm-hmm.
to have an Italian meal in Switzerland, they know it about as well as we do in America. What the hell? I think that's probably why I liked it, because it was like sort of the generic, like